Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to television host and anchor of Atlanta Live, seen each morning on 11 Alive and the ATL, our guest host for the evening, Mr. Vinnie Politan.
All right, 1, 2, 1, 2. Are you ready to party? Come on, get up. Go, get up. Go. Gonna be a good night tonight. You gonna have a good night tonight?
You know it.
Here we go, here we go. Are you ready? Woo! A good night tonight. Woo-hoo! Are you ready over here? Are you ready over there? Let's do this. Let's do this. Woo! Look at this crowd here tonight. This is awesome. The 22nd annual Hope for a Cure JDRF Gala tonight. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm excited to be here. You know, I've done a lot of galas around town. I did them in New York when I worked there. This is the first time I'm doing JDRF. And you know what? I am a JDRF. I'm type 1. And I've been type 1 for 16 years. And we all deal with it differently. How many type 1 families we have here tonight? Type 1 families in the house! So we all deal with it differently. I have one cousin who has it, and he had it as a child. Never saw him test himself. Never saw him take an injection. He kept it to himself. He was very private about it. And that's him. But his cousin Vinnie, that's me, I've been talking about this for 16 years. And as I said in the video, I'm lucky I got it as an adult. But most conversations I have when it comes to type 1 usually starts with me and my Medtronic pump. Thank you, Medtronic, for sponsoring tonight. And this happened a lot more in New Jersey, where I'm from. My name is Vinnie, right? So I do something with my pump, and some wise guy would be like, hey, Vinnie, 1990 called. They want their pager back. And then he had this look on his face like, oh, I just gave him a zinger. I'm Andrew Dice Clay. Oh. But then I had a little comeback, and I said, oh, that's not a pager. I'm diabetic. This thing keeps me alive. Well, the look on his face changed a little bit at that moment, but I felt kind of bad, so I was like, listen, yeah, I have diabetes, but I have type 1, the good kind. And then he's got this real confused look on his face, like there's a good kind of diabetes? Then I spend the next 45 minutes teaching him everything about it. And at the end of the conversation, he knows a lot about diabetes, and he regrets making that bad joke. So that's kind of the way I deal with it. And, you know, like any other diabetic, you know, I have good control, but there are days where something happens, right? I check my monitor, or I test it, and I see it's going way up real high. And then what I'll do is I'll grab my Medtronic pump, and I'll look, because I just ate dinner, and I'm like, I didn't eat a lot of carbs, but I did have some. And then I'll look, and I'll say, wow, I forgot to give myself insulin. And I'm like, you idiot. You have diabetes. You have it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 12 months a year, every year for the rest of your life. How could you forget for 2 hours that you had diabetes? It happens. Then I'm chasing a high blood sugar, and I take care of it. But then I take a step back and say, wait a minute. 2 hours, I forgot I had diabetes. For 2 hours, I was on vacation from type 1. And I'm like, I know I'm chasing a high blood sugar and it's not good, but wow, what a feeling that was, to just be able to live and not think about it. And that's why we're here tonight. We're here to give hope to all the type 1 diabetics that someday they can go on a permanent vacation and take type 1 and make it type none. So I just want to thank you, really, because it's very personal to me, obviously, and perhaps my children don't have it, but, you know, we're always concerned. I don't have any grandchildren yet. At least I don't know about it. I've got to ask my sons, all right? Anyway, only kidding. They're young. But But this is about, if you take that permanent vacation and we eradicate this, those 6-year-old kids who are going to a birthday party can eat the cake and not think about it. That 12-year-old can play travel soccer and not have to worry about a low blood sugar in the middle of his match. That teenager doesn't have to worry he's going out or she's going out on her first date, doesn't have to worry about trying to explain it. And that 19-year-old who's going off to college can just go off to college. And one other thing, those parents who are up all night, every night, worrying, can get a good night's rest. And that's what we're hoping for, and that's what's going to happen. So once again, thank you so much for being here and being so generous with your time, with your money tonight. We really appreciate that. Let's get down to business. There's some things I have to take care of here. You know about the amazing silent and super silent auctions? They will remain open till 9 o'clock. So while you enjoy your food, while you enjoy your conversations, you can keep bidding on that. Now, this is important too. For the live auction, all the bid cards should be at your tables, so make sure you get your bid card at your table. It's got a big number on it. They are at all the tables, so make sure you have that for the live auction, which is presented by Schlotzsky's. Let's give it up for Schlotzsky's tonight. Going above and beyond. Thank you. And one other thing. After dinner tonight, there's an after party. Every good party has an after party. And that'll be in the Venetian Ballroom, which I believe is just down the hallway. And that is, of course, brought to you by our friends at Medtronic. And that'll go till 12:30. The bar will be back open. So thank you on behalf of JDRF and the thousands of folks in Georgia impacted by all this. All right. Numbers. Should I give them numbers now? All right. Do we know how many people in this country have type 1 diabetes? 1.5 million. 1.5 million. There are 40,000 new cases each year, 1,000 new cases right here in Georgia each year. And here's a scary little fact that actually I didn't know. The loss of life expectancy is up to 13 years for type 1 diabetics. Now, as you are all very generous here tonight, I'm going to tell you, as the food comes out, where your money is going to. $100 million annually, JDR funds to research. And that is what is so important, is the research. You can't get the cure without the research. JDRF has funded $30 million right here in Georgia, thanks to your generosity. That's a lot of money. And currently, there are grants at Emory and Georgia Tech totaling $2 million right now, and there are 52 human clinical trials taking place around the world because of the generosity of you and the work of JDRF. So once again, thank you. This is amazing stuff. All right, we have a lot to celebrate tonight. And you saw on my ride in, I had to pick up some folks to get them here on time. Good news is they're all here on time. They are dressed to the T. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could just take a moment to welcome up Kathy Wood and Dr. Bruce Bodie and Carolina and Dr. Tom Branch, our 2017 Hope Gala chairs, and yes, the kings and queens of karaoke.
Well, good evening, and welcome everybody to the 22nd Hope Gala. I'm Tom Branch, and my lovely wife, Carolina Branch, and we're here co-chairing tonight with Kathy Wood and Bruce Bodie. And we're excited that you're here. JDRF is an amazing organization. It is a top charity that is able to take the money that you give and funnel it directly into research, leveraging those dollars to provide for you the opportunity for those with type 1 diabetes to live without worry, to manage their diabetes at a level where they may never see a low blood sugar. Wouldn't that be amazing? So thank you again for coming tonight, and thanks for your support. And I'd like to turn this over to my lovely wife, Carolina Branch.
Good evening. There are many people to thank for tonight's event, and I have the incredible privilege of thanking our amazing sponsors. Our inspiration sponsors, Schlossky's, who's presenting our live auction tonight, Medtronic, who's presenting our late night after party, our dream sponsors, Novo Nordisk, presenting our silent auction, Kathy and John Womack, hosts of our cocktail hour, our Believe sponsors, the Coca-Cola Company, Con Resnick, Nicole and Chris Carlos, Emory, Lilly, UPS, and Whitlock. Please help me thank these fine companies and individuals. Let's not forget our fabulous in-kind partners, Eagle Rock Distributing, who is our sponsor for our wine and spirits for the auction, IHG, our official hotel partner and raffle sponsor, and Georgia Crown Distributing, our official beverage partner. Thank you. Tonight would certainly not have been possible without the hard work of a lot of volunteers. On behalf of all of us on stage and throughout the room, we would like to thank our Gala committee members who secured auction items and in-kind donations. We thank our auction donors who contributed many of the fabulous items tonight. We thank our auction chairs, Christina and Quincy Jones, who you'll meet later tonight. Thank you to our wonderful youth ambassadors assisting us tonight. And thank you to our promise sponsors and table hosts who sponsored tables and filled them up to capacity tonight with such a great looking audience. Thank you all.
Good evening, everyone. Bruce and I echo what the Branches have said. Thank you very much, and we all feel the same way. We're so glad you're here tonight, and we look forward to an amazing evening. We will honor an outstanding couple tonight, Donna and Andy Cash. The Cashes have left their mark on JDRF and the Georgia chapter. We will bid on some very exciting live auction items, and then we will put the evening into your hands during tonight's Fundicure. Asking you to help us move closer to a cure for our loved ones. At the end of the night, we have a wonderful celebration planned. We invite you to join us in the Venetian Ballroom for a late night after party presented by Medtronic. Thank you very much. With special entertainment by, I'm going to try to say this all in not 3 times fast, Skate Rink Jukebox. You don't want to miss it. And then Bruce?
So, what I'd like to do is thank everyone here for attending, and certainly my Kathy co-chairing this with me, with also Tom and Carolina Branch. I met Tom when I entered medical school. I entered medical school at the age of 25, he at that time had just turned age 20. So, and I've known him ever since. So, anyways, they've done great work helping us raise these items that hopefully you will bid high on. I think they have several of their homes up for auction, so that'd be great. So what is the reason we're all here tonight? And as you know, JDRF has been crucial in helping people with type 1. As you know, it was founded back in the early 1970s by some parents, and some of these parents lived here in Atlanta. And the goal clearly was at that time to cure this disease, but they realized a cure was going to take time. So back 10 years ago, they decided to add to their mission to help anyone with type 1 diabetes, not only try to prevent diabetes, but if you have existing diabetes, to help people live an easier life. And the benefit that has happened this past year, it's a pivotal year. In October of 2016, the hybrid closed loop by Medtronic 670 was approved. In this system, you think, well, it's just another pump, but this system takes action based on a sensor every 5 minutes. And it tries to get your glucose to 120. So if you're below 120, it's getting you up. If you're above 120, it's getting you down. And fortunately, we were able to get this device approved in 97 days. That's unheard of. In the major point here, it would never have been approved before because Medtronic's first stage of closed loop took 4 years. And that's when JDRF came in and said, let's help. And they really worked with the FDA, they worked with Congress, they worked with senators. And if it wasn't for JDRF, we would not have this on the market. So thank you, JDRF. And fortunately, there's many people here that don't even have diabetes. And there's some people, unfortunately, they volunteer with JDRF, and there's a person, for patient's sake, his name was Steve, but I can't tell you his last name. But he came on just because he thought it was the right thing to do to help, because here he's a young guy and he's a biker and he says, I'm going to help people. As many people out here don't have diabetes, but you're here to help, and we certainly thank you. We certainly understand why parents of type 1 and relatives certainly are all in. And obviously, when you develop diabetes, most everybody's all in, and you're here. And I got to thank all of you for coming. Without you raising this money, and they give away, or they put into research $100 million a year, and they aren't stopping just with hybrid closed loop. We're going into fully closed loop. We're going into implantable sensors. We're going into sensors that don't calibrate. We're going into faster insulins. We're going into smart insulins. We're going into prevention of type 1, prevention of complications. And all of this money that comes forward, it's all helped dramatically by JDRF and helping companies like Medtronic to accelerate products, as well as all other pharmaceutical companies in this space. So I again thank all of you for attending, and I'm hoping you will raise your cards up to spend whatever you can. All of us will be doing that, and it's an honor to have Donna and Andy Cash, as well as Liam and Gavin here. We're honoring their family, and I've known them since Gavin was age 3. He's taller than I am, but he's doing phenomenally well, and Liam's doing phenomenally well in closed loop right now. But when I met Donna and Andy, they were all in, and certainly we're honoring them tonight because of how much money they have raised and given. So, and not only were they all in, their grandparents were all in, and they're also here, as well as their friends who also, all of them don't have diabetes, but they're here to support. So I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Thank you.